Out she not Mrs. Lewis. Sat a bit on it la otakshi there the anaki like organize nanje. Say da yo like doubt he I just down it how are things? How are you? Go you shije yanalti you. Shit gojong meaning I'm happy. Dautik meaning okay. Let's see, do doubt era meaning there's nothing wrong. Remember those words? And then today I'll go ahead and go over the counting system again. And then I was reading to you the ministry among the Apaches after 100 years. Just a reminder, it was 100 years back in 1993. That's how long the missionaries had come. The first time they came from, like, if it was 1993, it would have been 100 years. But now we're in 2020, so you can kind of add that up and see how long it's been, okay? Okay, so here we go. I got some teddy bears with me today, so let's begin counting. Let's do that first by our fingers, I guess, okay? Tasa'a naki, tagi, di'i, ashla'i, gostan, gostigi, tsapi, gostai, gones, nan. And then here we go with it. Let's see here. Got my teddy bears, my little teddy bears. Shashange. Tasa'a naki. Tagi. Di'i. Ashla'i. Gostan. Gostigi. Tsapi. Gostai. Gones nan. Tawara si nadi. Tasa'a. Naki. Tagi. Di'i. Ashla'i. Gostan. Gostigi, tsapi, gostai, gones, nan. Dawaratiya. Dawaratiya, meaning you can say all of them, right? Kadihi, likola. Anautsisa. Biche. Didi babirish. Benarish tiyu. Jidisha. Dibiche dadish tiyu la. Go das taklasa. Do goriga. Tasa'a naki. Tagi. Di'i. Ashla'i. Gostan. Gostigi. Tsapi. Gostai. Gones nan. Gola. Tasa'a go gones nanje dawal takla. Go di shashange dawzela shashange. That means little bears. Little bears. Go a benarastishan harot awasi. Go yuri go la. Tasa'a tagi di'i ashla'i nadu. Gostan gostigi tsapi. Gostai gones nan nadu. Go tala a. Gones nanje. Do ana sicho, that means red, sicho, red. A the kui, meaning how many are there? How many reds are there? The kui, the sicho, shashange. Count it with me. Tasa'a naki. Tagi. Shashange. Tagi, the sicho. Gola. Ana sicho. Di sitsuk la, yellow is sitsuk. Yellow sitsuk. Ana sitsuk gihida kui, shashange sitsuk gihida kui. Daos taksa. Tasha naki. Tagi. Esta tagi. Tagi. Ana dot leje hida kui. Di dot lej la se. Disto dot lejen dini. Lake o di leje stenjosa. Oh, dot leje. Green grass. Oh, dot leje. Eko arano lehi. Dasha naki. Tagi. Tagi dot lej. Dini oh dot lej hiko lai. Ana disto na dot lej. Dini. You he ya dot lej njola. Sky blue got out la. Ya dot lej. Ya dot lej. Dasha. Ako da biga you go you. Go dasali cho in it. Dasha naki. Tagi. Litsoki. Di ashla gostan. Yard dot leje. Gostigit saping, gostai, yard leje bilko. Gones nan, agola. Do anak adihi di da ol taki bitches da la shay da yohon. Di how adanolihi colors hila enalchida ashla. So today for Apache class, you had the numbers all over again with these little bears, and we also went with the colors. So let me explain the colors to you. Well, these are all called little bears, which is shahjange, and the colors were red licho, yellow litzuk, green dotej. Since it's like grass green, you would say oh dotej. And then blue would be also dotej, but if you want to really know what color green or blue or another color would be purple, what color it would be, you could also get that really known by saying ya dotej. So this one will be like sky blue and green grass. Got it? Okay. So the colors were licho, litzuk, oh, dotej, ya dotej. Okay, so that's all on this part. Now I was reading to you about ministry among the Apaches after 100 years. So we could say that 100 years was 1993, okay? That was, so guess when it started? When did the missionaries come about? So it was in 1893. So we have what I was reading to you. I'm going to go ahead and turn it all the way to the people, the nomads, the clans, and all that. I think this was where I was at, okay? Just who were and are the Apache people whom the early missionaries met 100 plus years ago, and we work with them today. Most all ethnologists and cultural anthropologists agree that the Apaches are descendants of the nomadic Athabascan wanderers who migrated south and east and finally south and west from the area around the Great Slave and Bear Lakes region of Western Canada. So we did talk about that earlier. Now, let's see, there were clans and there were leaders among them, but they were not called like chairman or something. They were either the medicine man or the shaman, okay? So then we talked about some superstitions, meaning they believed in things that were kind of like among all the people. They believed in things like the owl, superstition, the owl, the snake, the lightning, the darkness, the dust devils, and some types of sicknesses. And I was told by the pastor, Reverend Arthur A. Ganther, that when his father would visit the people, they didn't want it. Once the hospital was put in place, they didn't want to go to the hospital. They got so sick, so very sick, that even then they wouldn't go because they thought the hospital is where you die. So, but later on, realizing that the hospital can really, really be helpful. Okay? So, this was about the superstition part, and the early missionaries were able to take this heathen practice and turn it into a real object lesson for the doctrine of the first person of the Trinity, God the Father, the Creator. Much, much more could be written and discussed on the subject of the native religion of the Apache of yesterday and how it influenced the work of the early pioneer missionaries. And a lot of them could be written again from these things. We must remember that the Apaches of the 1890s were poor and scattered. These two facts also did much to dictate the mission practices of the early men. There were no textbooks, no doctrinal thesis, no precedents to read, study, or follow. So the people that came to teach the Apache people, Apaches were poor, but also the people that came in, because there was really nothing to go by to teach the people. And two, there was no reading because we did not read at that time. A Midwest-born and bred white middle-class Protestant, Lutheran, German-speaking, doctrinally sound, Wauwatosa educated greenhorn to the southwest must have suffered a real cultural shock, meaning that it was so different, the way the Apaches lived, the way they talked, the way their homes were, and the way they dressed, just everything, what they ate. It was really like, wow, to the white people. But, again, it was like that to the Apache people about the white people that came too. So both ways, it was really culture shock for both of them. Now, no real town, see, they're scattered small teepees or wickiups constructed of cedar poles covered the bare grass tied with cactus rope. Tus for carrying water, burden baskets for carrying corn, flour, salt, jerky, coffee, yucca bananas, goshkan, right? Wild onions, acorns, walnuts, and anything else. Okay, so those were the ones that we were learning about earlier. So I'm going to keep it right there, okay? And I will go ahead and start with page 4 for next week, Friday, I believe. So today you have a few on that, and you had your numbers. And I thank you for listening today to me. Anna Godzil.